Sorry.
What's your last name?
Taylor.
Oh, that's cool.
And introduce all the speakers here in just a few minutes. You know who
Okay. Let's do it. This is the guy
Can you get our picture?
Me? Oh, you're old party.
I'll put the shoulder there.
in Lake Champlain because I wasn't worried about Champlain.
Summertime in the winter, Florida. Let's go. Anybody else from even farther away? Yeah.
New York?
New York, yes sir. Welcome, welcome. I'm a New England guy, but that's New England adjacent, right? But you know, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Go Bills!
Oh yeah. We got grindins. What do you guys call sub sandwiches now?
Sub sandwiches.
Defeated, first shot. No, man, we're so excited to see everyone's faces. All the people, now it's what, 3 years for me doing this. It's so exciting. Oh my God. It's family. These beautiful people. Oh man, so I'd like to thank, obviously, Nikki and Martin and the entire Gather Up event team. We're out of meatballs, so Maria's pissed. Don't make her angry. But yeah, Gather Up, thank you so much for bringing us all together again, for putting us in this amazing cathedral for who was I just talking to that reminded me that this event or any major conference you go to is our Super Bowl. You know? It's our World Series. So thank you for making it amazing and just, helping bring us together because it doesn't work without all of you, obviously. Now, of all of you in here, how many of you are actually getting out and doing research? Any of you? Any of you getting out in the woods? Awesome.
I'll go out in the woods.
Anybody have an aha moment or anything this year that wowed them? No? No? Okay, well we're going to be looking for that because there's going to be a few people in the audiences and I will hope to get you to be able to talk with them, okay? Because people always ask, like, who do you believe in Bigfoot? Like, who do you really trust of all these people? And I always go back to first responders and anybody that's finally brave enough to raise their hand out there and say, you know what, I'm ready to talk about this. I've been retired for 30 years. I know damn well what I saw and I'm done hiding. So, if any of you are in here and you've been holding something in that you haven't let out in a long time, I can tell you it's therapeutic, and if you don't want to stand up and deliver, you can tell me or any of these lovely people. They will gladly listen, and they will gladly throw a hug in at the tail end of that story. So, anyway, with that said, you don't want to listen to my silliness. I would like to just start. We're going to go down the table, brief introduction. If there's anybody here that you're not aware of, obviously you live in a cave with Bigfoot, send photos. But if you don't, you're going to get a little taste of everyone, and then after this, we'll open it up a little bit, and then we're going to line everyone up to be able to do the photos that we all love so much. We're only going to do one camera this year, though. We've learned from our mistakes. When you have 42 people up there snapping pictures, nothing gets done, right? So one photo, just keep that in mind before you go up. Also, a final mention too, wear these tomorrow. You wear these, no lines. There's no lines to read, okay? You go right in the door. Please don't wait in line and get angry. Yes, we don't like that when that happens every year, okay? So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Robinson. He is a topper. He is a true legend tripper in the space, and he will be running on my favorite section, which is the encounter section, which is where we're going to hear from boots on the ground, people doing research, people who have had aha moments this year. Okay, so
some of you may have seen me years ago in 2010. I was at ABC's Wife's Father.
The whole reason I went back up is to play meatballs in the house.
Not my best moment in life. I always say we all make regrets in life.
Yeah, when I was up there, about out.
I have been on Weird Florida with Charlie Carlton, the author of Weird Florida, who also was actually my mentor in writing. And
I got that hook.
like I said, I was out of the net for a little while. I had a little bout with cancer. Back to where I'm supposed to be. Real quick, I'm retired military for all you vets out there. 21 years in the United States Army, as an Army cop. You know, been second airborne, jumped out of the airplane and wrote traffic tickets. I mean, I didn't jump out of the airplane just to write the traffic ticket. I said that one day in school, and the kids said, "Man, you guys are your quota," you know? So anyway, it's a pleasure being here. I look forward to seeing and hearing some stories for tomorrow. I am currently in the process of writing a book on the skunk ape. My publisher is Alan Childress. You may have heard of him. He's on Ancient Aliens. He's also my publisher. So again, thank you all for coming.
I like Ancient Aliens.
Thank you all very much. All right, now we got new blood here. Look at this shiny, new, pretty thing sitting here. Look at him. Does anybody look more like an authentic Bigfoot hunter than this gentleman? No? No, he does. He does. Now let's take a moment, right? What does TV need? They need a true naturalist. They need someone. What you did all along, fantastic. How you live your life, fantastic. At the end of the day, we need more role models that encourage us to go back in the woods, even when it's scary and spooky, to find out what's going on in there. Whoever you believe in, God, created all this. They did a damn good job, and we need more people like you, sir. Now, I was all anxious about pronouncing his name, okay? Because I can't pronounce any name right. Check this out, though. Biko. Nailed it! I nailed it! Ladies and gentlemen, Biko.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Biko Wright. I was on Alone and Expedition Bigfoot, and this is my first time doing a conference, so a little nervous being right in the light like that. But I've got a background in wilderness survival. Growing up with my family, we did a lot of backpacking, a lot of hunting, fishing. My dad's a Marine, and we were just out training in the woods all the time, so I never imagined it would kind of guide me into a weird survival career, but here I am. Really pleased to meet all you, really excited to be here, and I love to be out in the woods, love to do survival stuff, and then all the Bigfoot stories growing up from my dad kind of just guided me into that role, and then somehow I got on Expedition Bigfoot with Maria, and the rest is history. Thank you guys.
This is so humble. Enjoy it while it lasts. Superstar right there in the making, right? Anyway, well, switching from the new guard to the old guard. How many people know this gentleman right here? Mr. Raymond, Mr. Charlie. Anybody? Yeah. Well, no, but when we're talking about people that have been in this, 30 years? 40? 30? Yeah. The memory's the first to go, so. But 30 years, a trained psychologist, correct? Yes? Yeah, big time. No?
I have a bachelor's, which is BS. It's like,
well, here's what I'm going to say, right? We meet a lot of people, and you have to interview a lot of people, and you have interviewed a lot of people. And that background would come in very handy, trying to sift through the people that like to just tell stories and the people that had authentic experiences. Although, I would argue, it's hide the heart, the authentic, because the hair rises up, the pupils dilate after 20 years later. You know, hopefully you have all talked to someone that's had a Class A sighting, or at least something that they believe was, because it is amazing to watch that person tell that experience. And anyway, Charlie Raymond's run into a few of those people, and I would like him to tell you a little bit more than me.
Thank you. Believe it or not, I lived half of my life in West Palm Beach. I was born and raised in West Palm Beach. I was a school teacher for 26 years. My dad told me bedtime stories at the skunk ape, and then he would shut the light off and shut the door. Thank goodness I did not do any Bigfoot research when I went to UF. University of Florida, go Gators. I'm hoping we can get the game tomorrow night. But yeah, I moved to Kentucky, then lived 30 years there, formed the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization, and I was blown away by people that would spend hours on the phone telling me the emotion, the detail, and then they would thank me for listening, because nobody believed them. Their own family did not believe them. And I was taken back by that, and I would document all the reports. Over 700 credible reports I've taken in 3 decades of Kentucky. And the witnesses tell us a lot. And he was talking about the witnesses. We don't have a lot of pictures, right? Like Patty, or video like Patty. There's not a lot out there. The witnesses tell us what they look like, how they behave, and where they live. Witness testimony is crucial to our research. So I documented a lot of that. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'm going to share some amazing stories, eyewitness encounters from Kentucky, and I'm also going to share some evidence that I've collected in this past year that I think would blow you away. You got to come to my presentation. You got to watch it. It'll blow you away. And in fact, just right now, will tell you, I'll give you $500 when I show you what I'm going to show you tomorrow. If you can prove it's wrong, I'll give you $500 tomorrow. That's how excited I am against this research that just came out this past year. So looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I'm excited to be here. Give me a whoop whoop.
All right, everybody, out. We need to start tomorrow today. I want to know $500. Hey! All right, let's read it up. Brian Kingshot, a very good friend of mine. I could probably cry if I took myself back to a moment that we shared this year. But I'm not going to go there because it's part of his big speech. And I'll let him lead the charge on that. But let's just say 2025 was an aha year. And that's all I can say. While up, Brian, you know, there's no training. You go through life. He was an accomplished police officer, and then he decided to reinvent himself. So if any of you are thinking, I can't do it, or I can't reinvent myself, it's lies. You can. You know what it takes? Passion and grit. And he's an inspiration to me because he switched, and now he's even more successful, I would argue, in his new career as a podcaster. So if you haven't listened to Sasquatch Odyssey, if you haven't sat by the fire and listened to his stories and the people that tell them to him, then you're missing out. Anyway, do you even need to say anything?
No. I'll be brief, I promise. Like I said, I did 16 years in law enforcement. I left the City of Atlanta Police Department back in 2016. And now I'm a full-time Bigfoot investigator, researcher, podcaster, author. Done some television stuff. You might have seen me on Vice. I've done a couple of Tubi documentaries in the past. And we just finished a documentary that'll be coming out hopefully in another month or so. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm actually going to show you guys the exclusive trailer for the new Bigfoot documentary that RPG and I were a part of last year. So, and yeah, part of my presentation that I really want to share with you guys tomorrow is a lot of evidence I've collected. I'll actually have some of that evidence here in my booth tomorrow for you guys. I have some of the books. I have 2 books out that are published currently. But the main thing is talking about that experience that Brian and I got to share with each other last summer, and get into this documentary, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as much as we enjoy putting it together. So I'm excited to talk to you guys. I think I'll talk at 2:15 tomorrow. I love to collect stories, so if you guys have had stories, anything you want to talk to me about, come by the booth and see me. I love to talk to people. That's my favorite thing about coming to do these things is talking to you guys. It's my favorite thing in the world. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to meeting every single one of you guys tomorrow.
How many Bigfoot documentaries do you watch where you actually get to see someone when they have that moment? How many? Where you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's all I'll say. It's hard to follow the $500 thing, Charlie. Like it's hard to follow. I don't know what to say. David. So just met David, and once again, it comes down to who do you believe in the space? Who can you trust? We put the police officers here, which is nice, but a forensic expert and someone that can actually really analyze the foot, look at the dermal ridges. I said to him, I'm like, man, we gotta hook you up with Cliff. He's like, I do all of Cliff's work. Basically, so I don't want to say too much more, but I'm really impressed, and our space needs more of you. And so we're very glad you're a part of it. And if you haven't picked his brain, please take a look, make sure you talk with him. This is what we need, to prove what we're all out to prove. So here you are, sir.
So, I'm David again. I am currently assigned to the crime scene unit, where I'm a certified crime scene investigator and a certified latent fingerprint examiner. I have cross-trained through blood stain pattern analysis, shooting incident reconstruction. I've attended the National Forensic Academy, and I also help teach them. How I got into this was I had a few of my own weird incidences in the woods, but I wouldn't exactly attribute it to Bigfoot, I don't know, but it left my mind open. And I started reaching out to several people, trying to see if I can somehow help bridge that gap between the scientific world and Bigfoot. Because some people were saying from this community that we don't do that, and I decided I was at least going to try. So Cliff Barrington was nice enough to send me a bunch of casts with supposed dermal ridges on them. I've been providing forensic reports on the backside for quite a while now. I did write a book. It's about how to cast your footwear impressions or your Bigfoot impressions in different types of soils and substrates. So hopefully, this is also my first time doing this. So it is a little nerve-wracking.
Welcome. There's a lot of firsts, because we're going to get Herbert Jitter in a second. It's his first time, too. So, you guys are helping us usher in these new amazing researchers that we need in the space. Does she even need an introduction? Okay. My first love on TV, and then we got divorced, and she dated Ronnie, and now she's dating Rico. No offense, it's just a TV romance. And here I am, and I gotta put on a big smile when I'm obviously still in love. Now, life's about finding mentors and inspiration for yourself, for those around you, and if you have anyone in your life that needs any inspiration, especially my babies, my children, my girls, she is living proof that you can do anything and everything you want if you've got passion and grit. It is such an honor to share time with you, and thank you for literally bringing a big, beautiful spotlight to Bigfoot. It's beautiful. Thank you.
So, I guess as RPG just pointed out, I was also on wife swap, except I swapped the boys out. No, RPG, come up here, RPG. RPG took the very first steps that we ever took out to the field on Expedition Bigfoot, and he will forever be a member of our team, just so that you know. I was heartbroken when, basically he fell ill, as most of you know, in a way that I had never seen before, experienced just how rapidly you basically deteriorated before our eyes, and it was terrifying, and it was also a heartbreak because we were just getting started, and the energy and the passion that you bring to it was really infectious, so thank you. Ronnie was a rebound, and then Biko is the guy. But how many of you, this is the first time to this amazing conference? Raise your hand. Wow. All right, well, welcome. And so just raise your hand if you've been here before. Also, all right, fantastic. So it's a pretty even split. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., I'm going to be giving a talk. I'll give a little bit of my background there for those of you who are sort of new to the space, because you see me on Expedition Bigfoot, but I actually had an over 2-decade career doing wildlife documentaries and working with animals in the wild. So I'll share a little bit of that with you. And then, of course, we'll dive into some of the stuff that we've experienced during our expeditions. But thank you so much for having me back. Where's Marty? Oh my gosh. Well, I want to, hey, Marty, did you get the last meatball? Is that what happened? I want to make sure we all give a big round of applause for him putting this all together. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me back. All right, thanks everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome. All right, another first timer, not sure about all this. We had to coax him down here. We said, listen, how can we be serious in this space and try to get back to nature if we don't have someone who can speak from a Native American perspective? We are so lucky and so honored. In my own Bigfoot research, I went from a dumbass white guy to actually having experiences in the woods, which I opened up my heart and my mind to authentic wisdom, as I call it. So, not to have you up too much, but it is an absolute honor that he's here. Also his first time. Let's give him a warm welcome, please.
Gotta hang on to the chair here. You know, it's first time actually speaking about Bigfoot and different things, because I was raised out in the woods in a native village, and we only spoke our native language when I was being grown up. And when I was young, all my elders told me those are things that you don't talk about, things you don't mess with. You have to be educated. You have to understand the spiritual world. And so today, you know, I came, you know, November was my birthday, and I reached 60 years old. And I was like, oh my God, you know, I'm getting old. And so, you know, but I've been training as my native culture about the wisdom, the stories, the legends, everything about our native culture. Talk about Osceola, talk about, you know, the human body, the mind, the spirits, and I noticed that, you know, like RPG here had an incident, and I watched that show, and I was amazed that, you know, they don't come around to Native Americans and ask for spiritual help, and that's what that is. You know, when we touch on spirituality, we talk about the Creator, who created the earth, who created that species, everything on earth, and Bigfoot is just one of them. But, you know, there's other things out there that I've seen, that I know about, that other people don't know about. Because I lived in the woods. And when you're out there 99% of the time, you see things that other people would never see. And, you know, I've seen about 20 panthers, you know, curl up in a tree, and they say they're solitary animals. But I've seen them gather. And I asked my grandma about that, and she said, once a year they do that. They have a meeting. Every species that you see out there, they all speak to each other. And during certain times, they'll have a gathering, and the king will come to the middle, and they will gather around the king of the species, and he will speak to them. And that's part of our spirituality, of understanding there's a king system in nature, man, animals, you know, whatever it is, even sickness and disease. And that's what I deal with. I kind of help everybody who comes to me in order to ask for this blessing, should I say. Because, you know, a lot of it, you know, my kids, they like to party and hang out. When they get in trouble and get sick, they come to me and clean them up, send them back out. Everybody's children to me. But, you know, it's my first time speaking, and I'll be talking about skunking and talking about spirituality. So whatever you have, you know, you can come to me and speak to me, and we see if we put you on the right path. Oh, but no, you're not the path.
What a panel. So, some of us call Roger Patterson the first true Bigfoot. Okay? The people are the Bigfoot, but he was charging at the subject, right? So, my respect always goes out to the people that charge the hardest at it, right? It's like fishing. The more that lure hits the water, better your odds of having the experience. We all love Bigfoot. How many of you are out this morning looking for evidence? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, sir. I love it. I love it. Yeah. But I would like, if you don't know Brooke, then you are going to know her. Dark Florida podcast, TV shows knocking on her door, people asking for autographs. But at the end of the day, it's hard work that pays off, and you are witnessing someone that is on fire in the best way possible and rising. So just as much as it's the first time talking for some people, which is it you too? Oh, there we go. It is, you're seeing someone who is going to be very huge in the future, and I will put my money on it. So, Brooke, in line, Miss Girl.
Stories, and I look at Bigfoot like investigative journalism, and I approach it in that way and follow where the data and the stories take me, and it has brought me to some beautiful and wild places. I've made some incredible connections, and I can't wait to have the opportunity to chat with all of you guys and hear your stories. But on Dark Florida, we cover everything from Bigfoot to unsolved mysteries, anything that's interesting, the paranormal. Nothing's off limits, so feel free to talk to me about anything Bigfoot or beyond. But I'm just really honored and excited to be here and share the stage with so many other amazing people. Thank you guys.
So big time. We need more ladies in the space. Ladies in the space. Listen, whether people tell you or not, if we all walk in the woods, who has the best odds of having an authentic experience? The ladies have a better chance than we do, statistically. So, we kind of have a special surprise here, right? So, Brittany is somebody that, you know, you walk around, you're in the conference, and you see someone, and you're like, they're pro. Just even talking to someone, like their posture is perfect, everything's perfect. She just, no, but you made an impact, you're pro, and that was cool. And if you guys don't have Discovery Plus, you should check it out, The Lost Monster Files. She broke through. She broke through, and that is unbelievably hard to do. And, you know, from someone that broke through, for more, I would like you to know that I'm proud and I'm so excited for you, and I hope that it launches and goes forever. But once again, another hard-working individual in the space, and it is off. Very good.
But we grew up wild. We grew up on an exotic animal ranch. We dealt along with a lot of exotic animals. And for me, I always wanted to be like the Jane Goodall, like Diane Fossey, the Bigfoot in the Mist girl, right? Like the girl with the big dream.
there's stuff out there that people need to start paying attention to because the indigenous people are telling us about it. And we're not listening to them, and that's not okay. And he pushed the way forward. Bernard Hooverman was another gentleman, Roy Mackle. So many great men started that journey to say, I come from a scientific background and I don't care what you say. So for me, I love seeing this panel of professionals in that space to say, I don't care that I have a PhD, and I don't care what the academia thinks. I think that there's something out there, and I believe those people, and I'm going for it. And I back that, I love that, I support that, and that's why I'm here today. It's not because of what I did, it's because of all of you. So please, keep it up. Don't care what anybody says, okay? Because I had a big brother who believed in me, even when he was like, she's crazy. She's freaking nuts. But I'm gonna go with her, because he's my animal guy. He continues the journey, he has a facility, and so I lean on him a lot with the animals, like behavioral things that I have to try and put pieces together in the field, but sometimes don't make sense. So he's my protector, and he's like, what are you taking me on now? So I definitely, RPG, you can introduce him, or...
I don't know. You would... No,
that's true.
What's this, right?
So, I'm not going to fix it. He's my big brother. There was 7 of us. He's at the top, I'm at the bottom of the family chain. But we were always the crazy ones. We were the ones that created our own path and just stuck to what we wanted. And this isn't his first rodeo in this type of stuff, but he's also the guy that I can rely on. And so in Lost Monster Files, there was no way in hell I wasn't going to drag him in with me, because I was like, we're in this together. Like, and our other brother, Joseph, we're like, we're doing this. It's got it. He's like, she's going to kill us out. Like, she's freaking going to kill us. You know, she's going to say it's Bigfoot, it's fair. You're going to die. But this is my brother, Troy. I love him. Take it away.
I'm going to say that, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, my name is Troy. I have a facility in Florida where I do a lot of educational outreach with wildlife. I'm a predator specialist. I specialize in crocodiles mainly. So, Bigfoot, crocodiles, that's kind of cool. So, we got into a show called Lost Monster Files. She drug us into that. Me and my buddy Justin, we do the wildlife work. And so, I learned a lot of stuff from everybody, things that I wasn't in tune to. One of the blessings for me is I'm from Florida, and I grew up in South Florida, and I got to work a lot with the indigenous people that live near the Everglades. And so you hear a lot of stories that make a lot of sense, and then you put them together, and you hear other things, it just really comes together in a really unique soup of just awesomeness. So I'm glad to be here. It's my first time. I look forward to meeting everybody tomorrow and seeing everybody what's got going on. I'll be bringing a white alligator with me, so if you guys want to hold a white alligator and get up close with that, feel free to come over to see the company. It's not there considered scripted. So I think that's pretty cool. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, our beautiful speakers, the Skunk Cape Row and everything. We're going to keep the momentum moving, and we are going to have all the speakers of tomorrow. We're going to have you come up here. We're going to have you, beautiful VIPs, begin to line up on the back side of this. And we're going to start taking the pictures. While we're doing that, we would love it if all of our Skunk Cape Row people would mingle with you. So anybody from Skunk Cape Row that you would like to talk to, you will have an opportunity while we sift through the pictures, because it takes a little bit of time to get through.